No, that's good.
Hi, you guys. Okay, I don't want y'all to see first.
Oh, you want to see? Okay.
No, them. They can hear you though. How you guys? We're gonna start in like I guess 2 minutes, you guys. I just wanted to come on first and just to chime in with you guys a little bit before I go live, even though I am live. Let me see. I think I'm gonna just turn around here. Hi, you guys. This is your girl, Dr. Remy, and I am so excited to be with you guys on this afternoon. Of course, this is my pull-up on Mondays at 2. Yes, my pull-up on Mondays at 2, and I'm super excited, you guys, about the guests I have today, you guys. And I hope you guys enjoy what's about to take place of, people just telling their stories. And as I said before, this is a safe place for people to be able to tell their stories and be, real about certain situations, circumstances, and problems that they go through. So, and it's a place where we can just share and be honest, because there's a lot of people that are experiencing maybe some of the same things that that others may go through, and what they have gone through that, others go through. So we want to just be able to, just share our stories and be able to let you guys in. And then, and hopefully this will be able to help you guys, okay? So with that being said, we're going to start the Pull-Up on Mondays at 2 with your girl, Dr. Remy. So today, you guys, I have a special guest with me. I'm super excited. I just thank God for allowing our paths to cross. Absolutely. And you guys, today I have with me the Honorable, this entrepreneur, a loving son, a great brother, Mr. Raymond Bell. Yes, you guys. Yes, yes. Here we go right here. Yes, you guys.
Hello.
Yes, you guys. So we have Mr. Raymond Bell. And if it's okay, can I just call you Raymond?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Ray's fine, too.
Oh, Ray. Okay, well, we're going to be Ray. All right. So listen, you guys, I'm glad you guys tuning in and you on. So at this moment, I just wanted to first tell Ray, thank you for coming on. I pull up on Mondays at 2. I truly, truly appreciate that. And I always ask God to lead me to the people who he see fit for me to have on the show. I wanted people to be like real and be authentic and not afraid to share their story. And so I just thank God for you that you're here on today. And so what I'm going to ask you right now is tell us about who Ray is. Like, give a backdrop of who are you? How did you get here? Was you born here? All that good stuff. Just give us a backdrop of who you are.
Well, first of all, thank you for allowing me to do this. I'm so excited. I've seen a few of the episodes, so hopefully I will be able to bring some heat.
Amen.
So I was really impressed with the other folks who had a chance to jump on here and have this kind of conversation. I think this is very unique. I think we need more of this kind of thing in our community. I think it brings people together. But what it also does is it inspires and gives people hope.
Yes.
So a lot of folks know I'm Raymond Bell, the founder and CEO of the most successful job training program in the country, Hope Project, a.k.a. the Harvard of the Hood.
Yeah.
But I'm so much more than just the founder and CEO of Hope Project. And I'd like to kind of go all the way back so people can understand how I got here. And hopefully there's some nuggets that folks will take away from this. So I came to Washington, D.C. when I was 4 years old. My mother's a little country bumpkin from a little small town in South Carolina called Dillon. It's right by south of the border. Everybody knows where that is. And she met my dad when he came to her father's club. They got married, and all of a sudden 3 kids showed up, not too long after that. And my mother was still in South Carolina when my father came back to D.C., and she literally saved $1,000 in 1971. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
1971.
Yes.
Working little odd jobs, babysitting, probably walking to the store for people, a little bit of everything. She was really disciplined. It took about 3 years to save it, and she was only saving the money up so that she could get us to D.C. Because she didn't want her kids to grow up in the South in 71. So you can imagine, if you read your history books, you kind of know what was going on back in those times. So she didn't want to raise us down there. So she saved her money up, and she called my dad. Bless his heart. He wasn't the best dad in the world, but we still loved him.
Amen.
She convinced him to come and get us. She had already scheduled and worked out a plan with his mother that her stay with her over in Northeast, over on 8th Street, y'all. If you go on 4th and 8th, you make a left, you go across over by North Capitol Street. It didn't look anything like that. There was no bridge. It was a bunch of row houses over there. They tore the whole thing down now, of course.
Mhm.
Well, when she called him to come and get us, he said, I got a full tank of gas and about $15. And she said, if you come and get me, I'll give you $100 when we get here and $100 when we get to D.C. And he came, picked us up, and everything that we own, it fit inside of his orange Volkswagen.
Wow.
And it's three of us, three kids, my mom and dad up front. I was in a little small back part. That Volkswagen, that truck was in the front.
Mhm.
So keep in mind, everything we own, everything my mother's owned, she was in her early 30s, was in that vehicle. So we got there. I remember this like yesterday. My father pulled up over on 4th and H, and he blew the horn. His mother came on the front porch, and she waved us in. He didn't even get out the car.
Wow.
My mother had only been to D.C. one time prior to that, and that's when she came up here for a high school end of the year trip that we all take when we're in high school.
Oh, wow.
So, little country bumpkin with three little kids, not knowing anybody, not knowing about the big city life. She had been in South Carolina her whole life. And we got a car, he pulled right off. He had his own place and everything. But we still loved him, although he was not the best dad in the world. Long story short, it was my mother got a apartment. I'm sorry, it was a little small row house, like 3 months. She was not playing. She was she worked at Roosevelt Hotel. She worked at the Pentagon cleaning up, and all she wanted to do was raise her kids and do whatever she could so her kids would have a great life.
Amen.
Typical, black mom, just making all kinds of sacrifices. So when my mother called me, I'm dropping everything, because she's dropped everything for me a whole bunch of times. So I always think it's important to make people aware of how I started, because when most people hear what I've been doing the last 10, 15 years, there's an assumption that I had a lot of, I started out on second base, they like to say, but I didn't. I wasn't even in the game yet. Literally,
ground zero.
Yes, not even in home play. I didn't even get a chance to get it back. So I always wanted to kind of start there. And if I had to kind of think of one thing I wanted to make sure I leave people as we continue to tell the story is I guess my pain comes from not having that male role model around. And I even think about even more now as an older adult, because I see so many black women raising young men, and man, they doing their best, but so many of them are doing it wrong. They baby, they do all the talking for them. They going to, I done seen it before. I done been in the post office, and the kid taking his sneakers back, his Jordans, he want to return them, and his mother's right there do all the talking. And the only thing the lady at the front the post office is asking is like basic stuff. Do you want a receipt? You wasn't going to go first class, second class, third class, 35 minutes, what have you. He was like 18 years old. He could have went into that post office by himself. So when he gets 24 and he got to call his mother because he want to get his cable turned on, she mad with him because she feels he should know how to do that. But he never got a chance to, because mom been protecting him and doing stuff for him the whole time. And my mom actually tried to do that to me too.
Wow.
I think this kind of conversation is so important, because I'm one of the unique people who spent the last 16 years studying black men, young black men. Everybody know me from running Hope Project, and we train people any age. But the group of folks that we train the most is 18 to 24 years old. And an 18 or 19-year-old young man, pre-COVID, we like to call the kids now the COVID kids. But the ones back in 2013, 14, 15, we were just starting to focus on that group. They're a lot different than kids today. They were a lot more hungry back then, a lot more committed to having their own stuff versus living off their parents. Everybody wanted to get out their mother's house. They want their own car. They want to be to go travel, go to Miami, not be asking people to contribute towards, the fun and kind of stuff they want to do. But for whatever reason, since COVID, we saw it happening before COVID, but even more so after COVID. They're so comfortable. Young people these days, male and female, I say even more than men, young men, they're so comfortable not having much. They're so comfortable with having not having no responsibilities of paying rent, paying for your own car insurance and stuff like that. We see, I talk to them about it all the time because what I think people don't recognize and what we're doing. And it's been 16 years, and to this day, people still think the only thing that we do is help people learn how to work on computers.
Wow.
I have kids that.
You know what? Let me just ask you this question
Sure.
because you were talking about a lot of young men are being pretty much they've been handicapped by by some parents because of due to
Most of the moms.
most of the moms said
That's
yeah
right.
due to their moms always trying to baby them and not being able to teach them how to be a man. But I just came to discover like it's I think when raising a son, we not that I have a son, but I do have a sister who has a son. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of times it's like we as mothers can only teach them how they should treat a
Figures. So we had the boys and girls. Right now, it's hard to get kids even play sports anymore. They rather just watch them on or play them on the video games versus actually competing and trying out for a team, getting rejected, and having to work hard and do all the exercises and stuff like that. There's too many kids sitting on the sidelines when it comes to stuff like that, which is where a lot of the strong male role models are. So those kids aren't getting that exposure. They only hanging around their mother all the time. And I know the moms have all the best intentions in the world. But moms, if you listen to this, the day is going to come where he's going to have to face this mean, cruel world by themselves. You are not going to be able to protect them. It could be something as simple as him having an issue with his boss and not knowing how to go in to the office and conduct themselves in a way to communicate with his boss that he's having some issues or some challenges because they haven't been taught that, and their mom had been doing all their talking. Wow. I know they mean, but I've had people, young women, man, about 40 years old, come in with about 40, 45 years old, come in with an 18-year-old, and I had to stop them and say, "Can I hear from him?"
wow.
I rarely get a phone call from a black woman ask me about their daughter. Rarely. And I'm somebody that's taking thousands of phone calls.
Wow.
I've been on the phone with black women and they've called and said they got a son. And the way they sounded, I was thinking that son might have been 12, 13. So when I finally said, "Well, how old is your son?" She said 37.
37.
And the question she was asking and how she was talking to you, I thought he was, maybe she thought I had like a young adult program, like super young kid program. Because I do have some folks who do that kind of work. Well, she said 37, I almost passed out. And then this is the part that bothered me even more. I could see this, I could visualize this whole thing and that happened yesterday. I said, "Well, where is he? He right here. He right in the room. This this grown man
Wow.
let his mom do all of his talking. You would think he would be embarrassed, but he wasn't.
Wow.
He said, "Well, he right here." And then I said, "Well, can I talk to him?" So then me and him had our own conversation. I said, "Give me, don't you text me your number. I'm gonna call you back, or you text me when your mother's not around, because I won't have a conversation with you. Because if your mother's in the room, I know she's gonna want to be involved, and I want to talk to you outside of her." Now, most people are not gonna probably go into that level of detail, or even have that level of care, or even be um, savvy enough to understand that there's something here that's more important than just teaching somebody how to drive a CDL truck or get a security license or get into an IT program. That's the easy part. Is developing young men and women to be self-sufficient and independent.
Yes, that part. Yes. Being self sufficient, yeah, that self sufficient piece. But a lot of times, when you have parents that baby, their children, even from an infant coming up, it's hard for them, and then they want the same thing when they get married. They look, when they look for someone they want to be with, it's like they want that mother figure. They want you to do everything. They want you to wash their clothes. They want you to do, and then they don't even know how to be a gentleman and know how to be a man.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
They just don't. They just don't. And it's like,
because no one's around to like show them. I've got a nephew that's 21. We had went to the beach, and I had stepped away, so my sister and my mother were struggling to just to put together the chairs, little folding chairs, one of the fancy ones. So as I was coming back, I'm seeing my nephew. He done got his chair open. He's sitting down. He old enough to drink now. He's 21. So he got some wine, and we was at Myrtle Beach. I'm like, bro. I said, what's going on? You mean tell me you seen that your 83-year-old grandmother and your 63-year-old aunt try to figure out how to get the chair open? Oh no, my bad, I got it, y'all. And you just gotta remind them. But some parents will just let them sit there and keep on having a good time while they struggle trying to put the chair together. As simple as that scenario is, it's really, really important.
yes.
Because how do you go out into the world and suppose you was at your little girlfriend's picnic, and her mom and her aunt or her sister is trying to put together a chair. You steady over there just having a good old time. They ain't want you bothered with their kid after that. So there's little basic stuff that seems small, but those are nuggets that lead to a person being well-rounded. And the word or the term I like to use called understand how the world works. And a lot of people don't because they've been so sheltered by their parents. It don't happen as much with the fathers. Some of them be doing it too, especially ones who, like my dad wasn't around early on, try to come in and make up, and they just overextend themselves versus being that strong male presence. Yeah,
Presence is everything.
it is.
Yeah, presence is everything. Just being present. Sometimes you may not have the financial backing, but just being present. The love. It's love. If from the father just being there, just being in the moment. So I think that plays a major part too.
It's funny you mentioned that because my students will tell you in a minute, man, Bill, Bill, because we do training, IT training, and we in a classroom with 20, 25 kids sometimes. I'll just walk and tell the instructor, go, you can go and take a break. I want to talk to the students. So we call it a Bell talk. And I find myself deviating away from the computer stuff, if that's what we're talking about, and focusing on just what it means to be a young professional or a young person out here competing against this highly educated community. We're in the Washington metropolitan area. A lot of people don't know this, or they may not pay attention to it. But this area of the country is the most educated region anywhere in this country. There's more people per capita that hold a 4-year degree or higher in this area than anywhere else in the country. So the competition for jobs, the competition for advancement is really tough. And just having a degree, just having a lot of formal education beyond high school is not enough. I get students, I've had students enrolled in the Hope Project that got master's degrees,
Wow.
undergraduate degrees, because they're not able to navigate these highly sophisticated environments.
But also you have to sell yourself. You got to be marketable to sell
That's what
yourself.
I'm get to, yes.
You have to be marketable.
Yes.
Everybody, somebody else got the same thing you got.
Yes.
What's different about you?
Yes.
So and I think also that piece and to go along with that, you gotta have God. If He gives that increase, that overflow, and that more than enough, sometimes they push you like favor ain't, favor sometimes just favor, So it's good to have, that faith base whatever you're doing, because true success really comes from God.
Oh, no question.
True success comes from Him. So you really have to have Him, with you wherever you go. Don't just put Him on the shelf, when you think you got it. Say, God, I'm gonna put you on the shelf for a second, but then take Him off when you really need Him. Just keep Him with you all the time.
And I like to kind of use this analogy in a sense, in terms of having a strong spiritual, being strong spiritually, because it helps you with being disciplined.
Absolutely.
Like my mother has raised me in such a way I don't ever want to do anything to disappoint her. Oh, I want to always shine. I want to always be on time. Like anything associated that my mother's going to find out or know about, even when I was a kid, I always wanted to do well. And I got this really unique story that I'm hoping people play this back and listen to, if you don't mind me sharing.
Yes, go ahead.
All right. So I grew up in Southeast DC. I graduated from Ballou. I went to Ballou in the 11th and the 12th in the 10th grade, I went to Anacostia. And in ninth grade, I went all the way across town to Stewart Junior High School. I grew up in Southeast DC, right off of 16 Good Road, neighborhood called Butler Gardens. So when I left Kramer, my mother did not want me going to Anacostia. Nope, I'm sending you to another junior high school, going over Northeast, because that's where we were from originally. We first got to DC, and I didn't want to go. I was kicking and screaming. Went over there, fell in love with my ninth grade English teacher, and she got me an application to go to St. Albans. This is in 1982, so I'm telling my age now, y'all. So when she told me I was this, she said this in front of the whole class. Said, I'm giving Raymond this application. I got him a seat at the table to go take the entrance exam and get into St. Albans. Oh, that was such a big deal. I'm a little young guy from Southeast, uh, uh, born in Dillon, South Carolina. And here I am about to try to get into St. Albans. So I got on that 92 Garfield and went back across the bridge. And I got off on 16th and Good Hope Road. If anybody that's watching this that live in Southeast, and you grew up during the 90s and the early 2000s, even the late 80s, and you were on 16th and Good Hope Road, you remember this guy named Black Dave. Everybody does. His brother was a police officer, probably still a police officer to this day. He was always out on that corner, right there where the phone booths are, where the liquor store is. When I got off the Garfield, he said, "Man, wait." They said, "Bill," everybody call by my last name, Bill. He said, "Bill, why you smiling, man? What's going on?" I was like, "Man, I'm about to go to St. Albans." He's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm about to go to St. Albans." He said, that rich school uptown? He was like, "Yeah, go up there and show those rich kids that we just," he didn't say me. He said, "Go up there and show those rich kids we just as smart as they are." So I'm walking up 16th Street going to Butler Gardens, and people was like, "Man, man, what's going on?" I'm like, "Man, I'm about to go to St. Albans." Get around Butler Gardens. I'm telling everybody, everybody's excited. The Saturday came for me to go up there. Of course, we didn't have any money, so we called 3 buses to get to Georgetown. And we had done it before because my sister used to be in Barbizon School of Modeling. I still remember it was like even past that, and that was way up Wisconsin Avenue. So we got up there. Me and my mother, we caught the buses. We was all excited. We was walking around with all the other parents and the students, and they were showing us the school. Now, I grew up in Southeast. I'm used to the DC public schools. I get on this campus, just blown away. And they show us the indoor swimming pool. They show us the basketball court. Basketball court was rubber. This is in 1982. The basketball court was not hardwood. It was a rubber court. And I couldn't believe it. And I was good at basketball. I'm like, I'm going to be up here weighing them out. I'm going to be crushing them. I had to take a court out and bounce it just to know what it felt like to be on a rubber basketball court. So long story short, they
Asian kid, and everybody else is white. Tear that test up. I could tell they knew the answer. I can just tell by the way they were writing their answer that they knew what they were reading. They were able to comprehend what was being talked about, and they were ready. And all I kept thinking about was Black Dave saying, go up there and show those kids we just as smart as they are. So it got so bad for me in terms of, but this wasn't no multiple choice. No, this is years ago. Y'all in the early 80s. We had to write our answers out.
Mm.
It got so bad for me because I didn't know any of the stuff that was on that test. And I didn't want people to know that. So I started rewriting the question as my answer, just to have something to put down. Otherwise, I would have been sitting there for an hour just looking crazy. It was an unbelievable experience, very, very humbling. So when we finished, I had tears in my eyes. I ain't let those rich kids see me. I ain't let those rich kids see me over there sobbing like that. So I held my head up high and I went out of the room. My mother, she could tell something was wrong. You know how black mothers are. She thinks somebody done something to me because I was the only black kid in there. It's still like an 82. So I was like, nah, I'm good, Ma. I don't think I did well. She said, don't worry about it, baby. Nah, black mothers are. So she said, you know what? We're going to catch a cab home. I don't think I had ever been in a cab before. I think the closest I come to a cab was when we used to catch a ride home from the Safeway. When the little old dude used to bring everybody home from the Safeway. I ain't even been in the cab. We way up Georgia. That was a big deal for me. And she let me sit up front. So we coming on home. I'm anxious. I'm bothered because I didn't do well because I'm very competitive. And then we came across the bridge, and we coming in Martin King Avenue. I made the left coming up Good Hope Road. That's what it was called back then. Now it's Martinbury Avenue. And we made that right turn on 16th Street at the liquor store. I saw Black Dave. And he saw me in the front seat of the cab. And he knew I was going. And he was just like, yeah. He was like, yeah, I know you got him. I know you did it. He actually ran from the liquor store on the corner to the next store. We call it the second store. He ran a whole block, just cheering me on, just walking beside the cab or running beside the cab. So I got the Butler Guards, and remember, there was no internet. There was no cell phones. There was no Instagram, Facebook, all the stuff that we use now. So nobody knew what time I was going to get back. When we pulled up in the cab, there was about 40 people standing on my front. All my friends, they mothers, my friends' cousins, and my friends' brothers and sisters, little kids, 4 or 5 years old. They saw me get out of the cab. They all started clapping.
Wow.
And I told them what happened, and it was like, I remember one of my friends saying, don't worry about it. You're still the smartest one around here. So we went to play basketball at Surrey up Fort Stanley. A lot of people from South Beach, I know what that is. So there's a reason why I'm getting to this level of detail, because there's a message in this, y'all. So remember, I had told them I was going to go up there and crush them and show them we were just as good as they are. So it didn't work out. So we went to play basketball, and on walk back home, they were trying to hype me up to blame my teacher, Miss Lowry, my little Jewish teacher who got me that opportunity. Said, man, she set you up. That why they ain't want you to get in that program. She knew you wasn't going to do well. I don't know why she did that, man. I was like, no, I don't see it that way. So I'm going to school that Monday within my third period, Miss Lowry's class, and I didn't say anything to her. She didn't say anything to me. She said, well, Raymond, you want to tell us about what happened this weekend? I was like, no, I don't want to talk about it. She's like, well, Raymond, we all wanted to hear about what it was like going up to St. Albans. How was it for I said, it was really nice. It was really beautiful. They had an indoor basketball court, rubber, had a pool. Great. She said, what else you want? I don't have anything else I want to talk about. She said, well, come and walk out in the hallway with me. Y'all, I'm telling y'all this for a reason. I hope y'all stand with me on this. It's a little long, but I think it's worth y'all hearing. She said, well, come out in the hallway with me. So I walked down the hall, and I said, Miss Lowry, you set me up. You set me up there. You knew I couldn't compete with those kids. She said, Raymond, do me a favor. Just look in the classroom for a second. So I looked in the classroom. She said, what you see? She said, just everybody just chilling, waiting on us to come back. And then she said, well, tell me more about what happened. Because you don't want to share anything in front of the class. Let's just talk. She said, Miss Lowry, that test was really hard. It was really, really hard. She said, well, look in the classroom one more time. I let Ms. Lowry, why you keep asking to look in the classroom? So when I said to her, well, I don't understand why you wouldn't know from what we've been taught here that I wouldn't be a good person that's going to take that test. She said, I needed you to have that experience. And this is in 1982, y'all. She said to me, you're going to grow up in a global economy. You're going to have to compete with people all over the world. She said that in 1982. This is a Jewish lady, just passed away probably 8, 9, 10 years ago. She was so far ahead of her time. No other teacher all the way through high school or anywhere else has ever said that to me. She mentioned that in 1982. You're going to be competing in a global economy. You're going to be competing against people all over the world. That's exactly how it is now. But she said that at 82. She said, look in the classroom. I'm like, Ms. Laura, why do you keep asking me to look in the classroom? She said, because I want you to look in that classroom because I need you to understand it. You have to learn in this classroom at the pace of the curriculum that they gave us. You were way ahead of everybody, and that's why I sent you up there. But I need you to understand you can't compare yourself to the people in this classroom because I want you to think bigger than that. She said, look in the classroom one time. I said, Ms. Lowry. I said, why do you keep asking me to look in that classroom? She said, because the people in that classroom is not your competition. She said, you met your competition on Saturday. I need you to go to work. And since that day, I had a renewed sense of academics, education, becoming the best communicator possible, always sitting up front, turning my work in early. It stayed with me all the way to this day. It's the reason why I even started Hope Project, because I know how I felt during that experience. And I said, I'm going to start something, I'm going to build something. So when my students show up, I don't care who in the room. Unless they've already predetermined who they're going to pick, I'm going to put my money on my student every day. I don't care what college I'm saying, with the Morehouse, Spelman, Howard, George Washington, Georgetown, Catholic U. If it's an entry-level help desk job and they uncle not in charge, I would put my money on my student any day because the way we train, develop, coach, and mentor them to be successful. That lady changed my life.
Wow.
I hate that I didn't get a chance to spend time with her before she passed away. I would love to sit down with her so she can see what I have built and what I've done with just that one little experience that she gave me. Because trust and believe, the people that was in that room, they all senators. They probably run Chase Bank or some big time person somewhere. Mm-hmm. But I'm willing to bet, no matter what they're doing, if all of us got together, I don't think anybody in that room would be able to say that they transformed the lives of 4,000 poor people and brought them into the middle and upper middle class. And the majority of them don't have a 4-year degree. My student average reading and math score, Dr. Remy, is 8th grade for math, 9th grade for reading. Wow. And the average Hope Project salary is $75,000. And probably 800 of them make over $100,000. I literally had a student in school. In the school, thank you. Last 2 weeks ago, I asked her to come and talk to the current class. Told her how lazy they are. They don't get up and go. I said, I'm going to bring church in here. That's her name is Rachel Church. The first thing I was asking my students is, and they'll tell you if they watch, they're going like, yep, that's how I feel. The first thing I'm going to ask them to do is, I'm going to ask them how much money they make in front of everybody. And I do that because the kids that they compete against, the kids that they have, they showed up at the family cookout with their Morehouse shirt on, their Spelman shirt. When the elders see them, soon they got to the car, they start yelling and screaming, oh, that's my baby, Morehouse man. Oh, she's Spelman. And then somebody that graduated from Ballou, when they get out the car, the elders let them walk right by and don't say nothing to them. And they don't understand what that's doing to them. And I built Hope Project, so when they show up now, they got a Hope Project T-shirt on. They say, what is that? What's Hope Project? And they explain to them not only what it is, the community that we have, and how it's impacted not only that person's life, but their siblings and the inspiration they have that has impacted other people. Then they see us different. And now my students don't have to sit there for 3 hours and feel bad because nobody said anything to them because they didn't go to Morehouse and Spelman. Mm-hmm. The funny thing about it, when my students show up and they already know what they're doing, they're yelling and screaming for them now.
Wow. That's awesome. That's a great impact, having that type of, with hope. He's giving hope to them, and then they performing, and they actually, doing what they're supposed to do and making a big difference. Mm-hmm. When it's like more so like, it's like they just keep, I guess your name Hope alone is that when they see them coming, they know that they're getting a good product, or they know they're getting someone that's capable and competent to be able to implement what it is that the job is requiring of them, and they ain't gonna think twice about it. They know that when Mr. Raymond Bell sends someone, oh, it's a done deal. And I just thank God for your heart, though, the heart to be able to just, to sacrifice your life, your time, to really pour into the least, the last, and the lost. You know, because sometimes, you know, they just need a little push and a little help. And you're definitely a pillar for this area. I just thank God for you just and your team to just be able to pour into them, and then to be successful, and then not going to college, because sometimes they only teach you to, well, just go to college, or you know, they don't really teach you about entrepreneurship or you know, another trade or something like that to really push them. They always push college, but you have to pay for college, and then you have to get a certain GPA to even get into college. But okay, so where's the rest of with the rest, the other 50% or 60%. So your project and what you're doing, I just commend you totally and say, you know, God bless you. May God continue to flourish and prosper you to be able to pour into more. And I just pray that He just continue to, you know, catapult you to, you know, more levels.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, I see it from afar anyway.
Yeah,
you know?
I appreciate the folks who follow me, who chime in from time to time. Please trust and believe. I appreciate all the support that we've given. There's no way we could have gotten there without all the folks that have poured into the program. And we have about 1,000 students that hold a government clearance. A government clearance in IT is probably equivalent to having a 4-year degree. Because the Lockheed, the Northrop Grumman, the Deloitte, the Booz, all those people that hire our graduates all the time, and them having a clearance is such a leg up for them. But the most important thing I can share about the school is that, y'all, we built a community.
That's it.
And I don't think people realize that
a family, really.
Yes, exactly.
A family.
Yes.
It's a community.
And people ask me why I pour so much time, dedication into developing the people to behave that way. Because when I've started Hope Project, I know how we are as a community. Us black folk, if you ain't my brother or sister, or you got to at least be my first cousin. I don't know if a second cousin might not even get the kind of help that I would like the Hope Project students do for each other. So I try to build a community that became a family. And I know if they family, they're going to look out for them. Because there's no way I could have done all this by myself. The strongest thing we have is the community of graduates. I literally could get on my phone or go on Instagram or Facebook right now and say, Hope grads, I need about 25 of y'all to meet me down Eastover at our IT school. And about within an hour, I guarantee it'd be like 75 people down here.
I believe it because I feel your heart, so I believe it. I mean, you're genuine, you're so honest, and you believe in what you're doing. You got to believe in you got to believe in it, and then you know by believing in it, and you actually implement. You got to be a believer and a doer.
Yes.
So believing in it and being a doer of it, you can't do nothing but win, and you got God. You can't do nothing but win. So I just want to say, you know, congratulations on all your endeavors, your accomplishments, your goals, and seeing your babies or your community, your family, they just doing big things, you know, and they're a force to be reckoned with. So that's an awesome thing. So
I know you said you want to always kind of close out with us asking your guests if they can kind of leave.
Yeah, if you could, that one word inspiration there. Yeah.
It's a small sentence I think is worthy. And I learned it from my sister. She told me a long time ago, relationships will take you further than money. And we in our community, we not big on relationships. We big on money. We don't spend the time to get to know people. We don't spend the time to try to pour into others. We always try to get something out of every deal. And she taught me that a long time ago. And that has stuck with me. And I can guarantee you, any successful person you ever meet, I guarantee if you say it, then it was like, yes. I could not have gotten there without the relationships, the people pouring into me or connecting me with the right person here, connecting with the right person over there. Money can't get you those kinds of things. It can't always get you all the access, but the people can.
Yes, relationships. Yes.
Take further than money. That would be my leave behind for the group.
Oh wow, that's awesome. I like that.
Thank you.
Well, you guys, I just want to say thank you for, you know, tuning in with us. Sorry about the, you know, in and out of the picture frames and stuff like that. So we're going to try to edit it so we can just kind of keep it moving. You know, the devil gets busy when a lot of information needs to be presented, you know. So he's full of information. Mr. Raymond is full of information, you guys. So I love to hear him talk because when he talks with compassion. He feels what he's doing. So I just thank God for allowing him to be with me today, and I'm just so grateful. So with that being said, you guys, this is your girl, Dr. Remy, and yes, this is my Pull Up on Mondays at 2, and I thank you guys for tuning in with us. Again, you guys, for my guest today, it was Mr. Raymond Bell of the Hope Project. May God continue to bless you, Mr. Bell, and everything that you're doing.
Likewise.
All right. God bless you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Peace out.